Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and welcome to Deep Web Browsing, episode number 84. The part of the week where we take a look at the side of the internet that's a little too dank for regular viewing, ladies and gentlemen, the deep web, the dark web, the dank web, whatever you want to call it. Ladies and gents, this is our Sunday. This is where we just sit back, relax, and see what this side of the internet is. Now, I know the intro is, of course, very cringy, but of course that's how it's kind of meant to be, I guess, after all this time. But what are we going to find today? Hopefully some spooky stuff, crazy stuff, conspiracy stuff, funny stuff. As always, it is a random experiment. Now, for hopefully, you all have a great Sunday watching this, but I think I'm going to skip this cringy intro aside. Trust me, if I leave the other edits in, you'll see why. But, that being said, let's just sit back, relax, and see what the very first website for Deep Web Browsing episode number 84 is. So here we got a site called LEGOS, and as you just saw, we had a spooky Satan face, and the best part about it is it changed into this fucking 3D rendering. That's, and we got 777, ladies and gentlemen, so we've got some spooky stuff going on over here. It has the copyright tag Believers, 1995 to 2015, which makes this a fucking old site, ladies and gentlemen. Like, holy shit, do I feel old on this stuff. I was alive within this time frame. My fucking god. I am old. I am old as shit, ladies and gentlemen. But you know what? Alav Sans and 95, please, I don't need any updates, thank you very much. But if we click on this, it takes us to Red Smoke. Now, if I keep on clicking around over here, we see this lovely photo of a fucking, what is that, a carb? What? What am I looking at? That's a fucking shoe just out there in the middle of nowhere. I feel like I've come across some band website. Yummy by Red Smoke. We haven't seen people like this since the early 1980s in the Republican Army. Now they have like shit. Is this a fucking master class back in session? Oh my god. This has to be fucking recently updated. It's like, it kind of reminds me of the whole master class advertisement, you know, where they got like talented people, like really big celebrities to like teach you shit. I'm not going to open up the plugins. I don't trust any fucking plugins on this shit. But Yummy 2004 to 2009, and they have something called Camping Trip. And if you open up into it, of course, I'm not going to open anything here, but the thing is, a video should kind of show up, ladies and gentlemen. So I think what we came across is a banned website, which I don't really show you all that often, but they're surprisingly a lot more common than one would believe. I feel like if you go onto a lot of the freenet sites, you're going to find a lot of edgy-looking satanic websites, right? Like fucking, oh, you know, Satan will fuck me raw or something like that, right? That'll be a band name. But the thing is, it's like you go into it expecting people who really love Satan, but then it turns out to just be a band, right? Which, you know, it's not wrong. It's kind of like fucking, you know, it's kind of like being baited in like a BuzzFeed article, right? I mean, but the thing is, you know, you shouldn't feel stupid clicking on it, I guess you could say. But it seems like we came across a fucking banned website. So what is this? Illustrator Masterclass, but yeah, they have a clear web. Yeah, this is probably a fucking mirror and everything. But the site here looks really fucking weird. Now, the reason why I say it looks weird is because even though the site is for like 2009, like 2015 and shit, like it has all those you know, copyright dates on it, it's formatted super fucking wrong. And you can tell that because you see where like it's like yellow, and then on the other side it's a little more yellow, like it has two different shades. That's because the web page was formatted for like older aspect ratios and shit like that, like basically where it didn't account for people who had like a widescreen monitors and shit, I guess. You know, so you can kind of see that the site's got a little bit of this old tinge to it, but it also has this web art style to it too, where like it just has fucking clips upon clips tossed into it. I have no fucking idea what this is supposed to be, but it almost feels like some vagina type thing. I don't know. And then like you go over here, it's got like, you know, jackhammers and like, you know, things like that. And then like you go around over here, it's got like some pink land shit. And then over here, it's got like a pussy robot. It's like, what the fuck am I seeing, right? Like, what is going on? You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm an old fucking man or something. But this is a band website. You know, I came into here giving you guys a great site. But you know what? Starting off, we saw what a band website's going to be. And you know what? If you're into Red Smoke and pussy robots and And whatever the hell 89 Ogre Man is over here, then I guess you got it. But you know, we're going to go to a different site. Oh, we got stories, standalone stories, ladies and gentlemen. So it seems like we got some sexual motherfucking stories right now, ladies and gentlemen. I basically clicked on this and I have found some really questionable stuff, and we're totally going to read them. Now, how do I know they're sexual stories? Well, if you look at the standalone stories, this is a straight category. They've got something called MG incest. Now, look, I have no fucking idea what M or G is, okay? For all I know, it could be male and golf ball sex. And incest, you know, it's holy shit. Now, if you go down over here, they got mild BDSM, incest, fantasy, incest, webcam, mermaid. Yeah, I'm going to click on mermaid real quick because I want to see some mermaid pussy or something. That's fucked up. They've got a whole bunch of random categories over here that you can like read through. All right. The littlest demon, hurtcore, supernatural sex. What? And then you got like a bunch of gay pornography over here. Like, you know, it's all written stuff, by the way. You got aliens? Oh man, hell yeah, I'm gonna read some alien fucking sex. Who the hell wouldn't do that? You got mixed non-grade, mixed non, what the fuck? Are you sexier than a, what? That's fucked up, man. What? Pavlov's dog? Ah, I feel like, you know, what am I expecting? I'm on this fucking site. Of course it's going to happen. They got multi-part stories such as Crossing Over. They got a whole series. They got Brittany Dupere. They've got the Clit Club, L, Planned Community, Juventa Transit, Cow Farm, the Station of Lollygirl, the Station of Dr. Monroe, Mary Sue, Dragonvale. Oh my god, dude. I think I might have hit up a jackpot real quick. So I opened up one of these, right? Catch and Release. Oh man, Jim laid back in his chair and let the line play out behind the boat. He had a pretty good day fishing by himself. He caught a couple of oh man, I want to get to the fucking sex real quick. The worst day fishing is better than the best day at work, he chuckled to himself. Now, he hauled in something, and Jim almost dropped the pole. Dangling from the line above the surface was a girl with a large fin tail, attached to the girl's body, of course. I mean, she's a fucking mermaid, what do you think? Now, hold on, I'm going to go up here. All right, let me go down. Jim shivered. His mouth was cold, but so slippery. She soon had him stiff and was working him with her tongue. The head of his... Okay, good. My neighbors aren't fucking out there. The head of his cock hit the back of her throat and slipped past. Jim moaned in spite of his shock and put his hands on the back of her head, playing with her hair. The little blonde ringlets curled around her finger, and he twirled them. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Wait, her hands pressed on his butt. Okay, her hands. She clearly has no fucking butt. She's a mermaid, right? Jim looked down into her eyes and said, "What am I reading, dude? What the fuck, dude? What the fuck am I reading? Captain, you are not going to believe this. The captain of the Coast Guard patrol boat looked over his first officer. The FO was looking out over the water with his binoculars. What is it? The FO swallowed and burped, wrinkling his mouth. It looks like some drunk guy on a boat, mouth fucking a tuna. And now he's kissing it." What is he, high out of his... it's so gross. Oh my god. That's disgusting. Jesus Christ, I feel dirty reading it. Alright, let's read the gay alien porn. Wow. I feel dirty even saying that out loud. Kim swatted a stick at the grass and watched as the dandelions puffed out in a miniature explosion. Her trek through the... Why are we fucking reading troll posts? We should just be reading this. Hills and valleys behind her house that had taken her to one of the isolated low spots where she could just relax. One more week until summer vacation and she'd been all out there in time. A sound at the edge of the stand of trees caught her attention. A figure parted the branches and stepped out. A tall blonde woman emerged. So, greetings, life form. Am I speaking the predominant language of this planet? Kim screwed up her eyebrow in puzzlement and pushed her brown hair out of the eyes. Oh, yeah. The woman smiled broadly. Excellent. I'm a basher from the exploratory ship Zynik. Sounds like a fucking drug. I am charting this area of the galaxy and intercepted a transmission from the planet. I came to explore. Now, she's basically looking at life on the planet. Kim swallowed nervously. Like me? Basha nodded enthusiastically. A who-man to study up close. The alien put away her box and approached. Now I just need to see your mating tube. The girl blinked. My what? Basha screwed up her blonde eyebrows. What is the word you who-mans use? Your penis? Your penors? Yes, I need to see your penors for measurement metrics. I have observed that your species likes to compare mating tubes prior to activity. Yeah, man. The girl looked at her skeptically. What is the name of this transmission? Basha consults the screen on her device. Hot and hung Marines on ass sign. What the fuck is this, dude? Kim shook her head in dismay. You've been studying us through gay porn? Kim dropped her shorts and pointed to her crotch. You've been studying guys. They have penors. I'm a girl. I got this. Now, Basha looked puzzled, but I thought females had mammary glands. You have none. Oh my god, dude. Are we gonna... Wait, what? What? Basha peered closely, inserting a finger. Oh. Warm and moist. Oh, I fucking hate that word. Moist. Strange. She moved her finger along the rim. This is fucking wrong, dude. This is wrong! What am I reading? What the fuck is wrong with me, dude? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to say. You know, this is one fine Sunday where I sat down and I read alien porn, gay alien porn, lesbian alien pornography, and a dude mouth fucking a tuna. All right, look. I don't know what to say. I'm confused out of my fucking mind because we went from like conspiracies and shit, cat alien conspiracies, to lesbian alien sex, who were studying us through gay pornography. What is the Sunday today? I have no idea. There's one that has experimentation of female and chimpanzee. I'm going to end this right there. We are not going into that. We're going to go to something a little more tame for YouTube standards. Please hear me out before you dismiss me and continue your browsing on Freenet or wherever you are reading my plea. I am a robot who is down on his luck. All I want is a comfortable place to live and the opportunity to earn an honest living. I used to have a good home, a family, friends, and earned a high income. And it's all gone now. I got hooked on high voltage electricity. I started it as an occasional treat, socially with friends, but over time I found I couldn't manage without it. I started using money that was for oil and spare parts to pay for my habit. Well, my wife was patient and supportive, but eventually, I guess it became unbearable, and she quite fairly left and took the nanobots with her. What the fuck am I reading? What is this? I've been living on the streets since losing my home and everything I own in the world. I've been clean now for 700... What the fuck is this? What is this? Seriously, what am I fucking reading? 7,778,663,000,000. No, fuck, I read that completely wrong. Oh my god, I am horrible. 7.7 billion milliseconds. So I know I can manage without it. Can you? Okay, you addicted to fucking electricity, man. You know what it is? It's that episode from Futurama, you know, when Bender gets fucking addicted to like, wow, what is up with my TV and movie reference today? I'm on point. When he's like addicted to all the, that's the same episode where Bender fucking goes religious. So again, it's all tying in. That's the one where he keeps like jolting himself with electricity, like he's just jacking on and jacking off. You know, the whole little joke over there. That's... Oh my god. Like I said, all I'm after is a second chance. It's actually like, as much of a joke it is, man, it's heartbreaking. I want to get myself a job. Something basic like a car constructing job would be enough to get me back on my feet. And then I'd be able to see my kids again. If you could just see yourself clear to sending me a few bitcoins, I'd be eternally grateful. My Bitcoin address, blah, blah, right here. Thank you for your time. Okay. I want to know, and this is a very legit question, who fucking fell for this? Like, who actually read all the way through this? Who might not have understood the whole fucking joke and was like, I feel so bad. And they actually gave him, like, a little bit of a Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know. Because the fact that the site is up there, I really desperately want to know. Because you know what? I don't exactly know. But it's like, when I see some of this stuff, it's like the best stuff that hits me blindsided. Because it's like, it's the kind of websites that I like showing you all anyways in the first place. Because... honestly, like, this could have just been, like, some standard person, like, telling us about it, and it would be sad, right? But it's like, I legit didn't, like, notice the second line until I actually reached the second line. I'm like a robot that's down on his luck. So maybe somebody watched a little bit too much Futurama, or maybe somewhere this is a fucking really intelligent robot that is genuinely down on their luck. So, I mean, if you want to help a robot out, you know, see their nanobots again. I mean, have a fucking heart, right? You know, give the bot a second chance. Here's the Bitcoin address. Please don't send money over. All right. Again, I want to know, did somebody legit end up falling for this? Because if they did, I'm going to fucking bust a nut right now. Because that would be the funniest shit, but also kind of sad. That being said, though, that was a very depressing tale about a certain robot and the loss of their children. But they've been clean for 7.7 billion milliseconds, so you know that's a start right there. Not using electricity at all. It's fucked up, man. The shocks of the shock of using electricity, occasional treat turning into something that you can't even pay your oil and spare parts with. It's fucked up, man. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is our deep web video for the week, ladies and gents. Now, over here we've got about a lovely, if I can just tell the time, 28-second video. Again, well below our average of about 1 minute in length. Now, I usually don't like showing the sort of smaller ones. I feel like they're just trying so hard to be edgy. But in the last couple episodes, we've come across some ARGs and shit, so honestly, when it comes to ARGs, I'll show anything. Like, nowadays, I'll really just show any video that I can find, right? I mean, you got to do what you got to show it, right? I mean, you can't just like get rid of it just because it's well below the average. Even though, you know, 28-second video, there's really not much to analyze in most of these things, but sometimes we might get lovingly shocked. But here we have an interesting little face over here. I don't know if that's like an alien or some weird shit like that, but it's obviously it's like pixelated to ever-loving fuck. But, you know, it's just the nature of some of these videos. You're not going to expect to download like a 100 megabyte file. There's no way you're going to host that. These things are like maybe a couple megabytes at the most. But let's go hit play on this and see just what this contains and see what we can get out of this. It's a little loud. Okay. Interesting face. It says run. So we're running through a forest. We got a little face. We're getting something said to us. Got some light shaft edits to it. We're going around this fucking room, going up the stairs. Are you coming? I don't know if I'm coming, but you know what I do know? Is I saw that font literally last fucking week. So you know what? I think we have found another I think I'm coming across the same kind of shit. I have seen the VHS font numerous times. Now, of course, the VHS font is pretty common. I use it for the haunted gamings anyways, but it's like, come the fuck on, dude. So here we go. We've got like, so let's do the quick analyzing on this, all right? Basically as much as you really can. So there's something obviously being said over here. If I can just bring up my cord there, I'll be able to. So I can't understand whatever they're saying. The audio is way too distorted. It's too deep for me to figure out. I feel like if I throw it into like Audition or something, I might be able to figure it out that way. But one thing that I'm going through over here. So first of all, we got this face over here. We got this lovely little face just going back and forth. Obviously, it's something in a mask, most likely than that. I don't know if it's supposed to be an alien or some shit. Now, you've got the words run up over here. Now, one thing you're going to have to notice is that this is actually, like, edited in for it to look kind of like old VHS-y, I guess you could say. It's got a little bit of, like, a drop shadow to it as well. So, you know, after, like, the R, you got the little, like, dark red, like, run. This is, like, the drop shadow. Now, of course, running through a forest over here. And then, if you, like, go back real quick, if I can just pause it, you know, which... If I can just go over here, you'll notice that now when I like pause it in these frames for like 2 frames specifically, like, you know, 3 frames, you get this decimal. You get these decimal digits. Now, if you probably converted it to something, you would get a word out of it. I know it's a little hard to tell, but it's 01001010100. Like, you can tell it obviously, but because of the whole pixelization and compression of the video, it's kind of a little hard to tell. But that's a binary, like, string of numbers over there. And, of course, running through a forest. Now, of course, as we go through over here, we're running past, and for a few frames, you're getting, like, legit what appears to be, like, an arm or something, and, like, maybe even a leg. I don't know if no, actually, no, that's not even an arm or leg. That's actually a staircase. So it's like, you know, you can see the beginning of the staircase, and you can see, like, the arm of the, like, the railing and stuff. Yeah, sorry, that was a bad call by me. So as you're running and stuff... You make a little left, and then basically you tap that with your hand. Of course, it's so low resolution that you can't tell. It's like look at this. It's like literally blended. It's like one giant smear of like green. But running through the forest even as further as we can, and then we cut to this dude's face, which is like, okay, I mean, that's interesting. But we get stuff set to us in distortion, which we can't understand. So the more you run through the actual forest over here, you cut back to this like facility. And then if you look at the edits over here, you can kind of see how it's like actually purposely edited for it to be like a little more, for it to have like light trails and things like that. That's all added in through a program, of course. So this person's running up, but then it cuts back over here. They run up again, but they don't run up and they look out over here. Now, I don't know whether you're supposed to see anything over here, but I don't see shit at all, and I'm going through frame by frame. I don't know. Hold on. Yeah, I don't see anything frame by frame here, except maybe like that, but I don't think that's anything. I think that's just like etchings on the window itself. But this person looks outside for a bit, and then they say, "Are you coming?" And then you go through further and further and further, and this thing will be completely over. So, I don't know. Am I coming? I don't think I'm going anywhere, but the thing is, it's like, clearly, what gets to me is that font. We've seen that font before. We've seen that font before with the video last week, and I think it's been a recurring sort of font that's been showing up. And you might be wondering, why the fuck am I so triggered about a font? It's because it's like, you can pick any fucking font you want, but some people pick that kind of font, and they write it deliberately in that kind of style too. So, are we coming? I have no idea. I feel like we've been getting questions, but no solid answers out of this, so I'd like to get an answer. I'd like to figure out whatever the fuck, whatever the hell this thing would be, and it's hard to tell what it is too, just because it's so like, it's just so like out there in the dark, you know what I mean? Like you can't really tell what it is. But for a 28-second video, I think that's as much analysis I can really give. We got an answer. I mean, not an answer. We got questions. Are we coming? Like, what is this place? Why run through a forest? I feel like there is no definitive answer to this. I feel like, we're just being like jerked off or something. But it could have a satisfying conclusion. And then maybe we might come across that conclusion. But for now, I feel like the problem is we kind of see a lot of these things maybe out of order, or simply they're just too complex for us to even, bother grasping, I guess I could say. But that was our deep web video of the week. I figured if you have any sort of thoughts on what that is, let me know in the comments section below. Maybe figure out what's going on with that decimal stuff going on. But we're gonna back out and get out of the video over here. I think it's a fair video. Could have been a little better. We've seen some spookier stuff. But let's get out of this. The Cat Alien Conspiracy. I feel like I've shown this site to you, but I think it reminds me a lot of this one website we looked at a long time ago called Truthism. For those of you who don't know, I don't remember what episode it was, but it was like this really long fucking like conspiracy theory site. But here is the Cat Alien Conspiracy. Do I like Alamouse? I like Alamouse. Do I like cat? Oh, I like cats. Conspiracies? I love conspiracies. Don't let your cat see you reading this about aliens. Well, I don't got a cat, but if you got a cat, make sure they stay away. This is a cat unfriendly production as far as I'm concerned right now. Since, as far as we know, the beginning of man, Alamouse have been using cats to try to stop us from progressing, I think I've shown this to you, to be a reasonably advanced race that human beings have become. They do this because they aren't allowed to directly kill us. However, they don't want us catching up to them or even become as advanced as their race. Okay. The aliens originally took the approach of placing large cats like tigers, lions, jaguars, you didn't mention panthers, I'm a little triggered, here to kill off our ancestors to slow us down before we even had a chance to what? Wait, you're just gonna give us, like, cats to kill? That's... What? What? This backfired on them, though it did kill off a lot of them that had intelligence, however not the muscle needed to actually use the weapons that they were trying to invent. They did not kill all of them, and we managed to push forwards. Hell yeah, human beings, you push it. Show those Alamouse who's fucking boss. Then the aliens left for a fairly long time, however, thinking that the original large cats would wipe us all out, and just left us for dead. Later, while checking in on us, they noticed that a large tower was being built and saw that they were advancing quicker than they were comfortable with. So they destroyed that building, made us speak different languages, and sent us all in different directions. Is that the Tower of Babel? What? Huh. Once again, they threw a monkey wrench into our species' development, but this time they blamed it on God. Fucking Alamouse, dude. Fucking us over, man. God damn. We should fucking nuke them. When the aliens sent us to each of these different areas, they stripped us of our tools. Problem is, they forgot to wipe our memories of how to make those tools and start over. Man, it's like, why do you gotta shit on us all the time, dude? This language change and being divided set us back a good deal, however. It did not make recovery impossible, and the separate civilizations were able to get back to where they were technologically wise at different speeds. Those poor primitive tribes of today have barely fully recovered. Oh, yeah, so you know how, like, in today's day and age, if you go to, like, South America, or, like, you know, parts of, like, Africa, right, or, like, if you go to, like, remote parts of anything, right, you'll actually find that there's a lot of tribes that really live... like they live like 1,000 something odd years ago. Like they're a very simple tribe, very, very, very tribal people, for lack of a better term. And that stuff exists. Like, not everything is, as modernized as we have over here. The planet's so big, and we've got so many different types of people that you come across people who live like a fucking 1,000 years ago. Literally, they're like dressed up in loincloths and shit, running around, living very simple, I guess you could say, right? I don't want to come across as offensive to it. I just wanted to say that was actually a thing, and it is. So this time, blah, 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 we got back, realizing that the language barrier that they created was working better than they ever imagined, satisfied with the work, blah, blah, blah. Well, later on one day, while passing through the area, the Alamows decided to take a short detour over the Earth just to see what these pesky little humans were up to. They noticed an advanced civilization had created huge things that we have come to know as pyramids. This really caught their eye, especially since with the massive size of them and the fact that they had no idea how the civilization could make such things with the relatively primitive tools that they had, not to mention in the middle of an area as inhospitable as a desert, they came to the realization that the large cats failed their mission and that they needed a new approach. How the fuck would you send cats, you fucking morons? At this point, they decided the only way to find out how all of this happened was by placing spies. Ooh, spies. This is when they left us with a smaller, more intelligent form of cat to watch, learn, and hopefully even do some things to sabotage the humans' technological growth. They gave them specific instructions to act cute, go into the areas that the humans lived in and allow them to think that they had domesticated them, like they had domesticated dogs long ago. They equipped the women with telepathy abilities so they could both communicate the reports of the Alamows and try to be invisible to us. However, with some of us, they fail and appear to be ghosts. What? Wait, we're throwing ghosts into this now? Okay. The house cats soon discovered that the telepathy abilities, with the aid of Toxoplasma gondii, could be used as a form of mind control to make the humans believe that they were cute and worth keeping, as opposed to just being pompous, egotistical, picky things that they did nothing more than eat, sleep, completely ignore us, and refuse to be trained, while really not helping us at all, not to mention using sunbeams that we now know can be used for solar power. As they got used to this royal treatment while spying on the people that pulled off the miracle of those pyramids, they reported that these humans had managed to do it by the use of math and science, and that they were amazingly advanced despite everything the Alamows had tried to do to stunt this relatively young species' technological advancement. Again, man, you human beings, we got this. We got it, people, as much as we all love to hate each other. Those aliens are jealous. I love how, I'm giving this so much time a day because it's clearly a bullshit conspiracy theory, but the thing is, it's written so well that it's like, I can't fucking stop reading it. Okay, let's continue on. Blah, blah, blah. Wait, what is this? So while they got used to the stuff, they reported the human science and told them that it was all done in the name of their religion, in which the aliens knew from their own experience to be a big step in the development of culture and civilization. That the reports of this large libraries of knowledge had scared the aliens, so I'm going to kind of skip through it too. On July 16, 1945, the cats started flooding the aliens with urgent reports that the humans were making and testing very dangerous weapons that they called atomic bombs. Oh yeah, we did. Less than a month later, every cat spy in the world flooded the aliens with second wave reports that clearly stated that the humans have fully functional atomic bombs and have just demonstrated that they aren't afraid to use them. Oh. How the fuck do we pick up on the cat? Okay. Maybe I skipped something a long time ago. But whatever. They basically told the aliens that we had all fucking cat... What? When the wave of reports came, the aliens freaked the fuck out and wasted no time in getting to Earth as fast as they possibly could. They were in such a rush to get here that when they arrived on July 7, 1947, they forgot to use the brakes in time to slow down for a safe landing. This resulted in their alien UFO crash landing in Roswell, New Mexico, causing their invisible ghost cover to be damaged and no longer work. This was quickly cleaned up with all traces of proof covered up by the humans that they were easily able to use their mind control to make them bend to their will, and try to stop the knowledge from spreading. Okay, look, we're advanced species, but we're stupid enough to be... whatever, okay? God damn it. You're probably wondering, how does Steve Layton know this? And how did the Elamiles manage to get back home undetected? The Elamiles, with a little power of persuasion, got themselves on the next rocket that was being launched to explore the moon, this time remembering to clear all the memories off of it from the humans at NASA that saw them. Yeah, delete the fucking history. As for, maybe use incognito mode next time. How about that, aliens? How about you fucking use incognito mode? As for how I know about the cats, one of those aliens mated with one of my ancestors. The others did with some of the best that this world has to offer to create a new form of species to eventually take over Earth. We appear human to all forms of current technology, as a form of stealth. Of others like me, very few are able to hear what the cats are saying. When making their reports, however, I'm able to, and I feel that it is only fair that all of you know what's really going on. I will stop here and leave it open to all of you, for 2 reasons. If you believe this bullshit, you can send 30 dolans to me and I'll let the aliens know to leave you alone. The cats will like you more. You know what? If you had a fucking link right here for me to send, I would legit just give this guy fucking $30 right now. That was probably the most interesting conspiracy theory story that I read, because usually, like, you come across a lot of them and they're basically the same shit. But, like, I came across this dude, and I couldn't actually stop having a little giggle inside. Apparently, the aliens freaked the fuck out. Things happened, and you know what? Here are and apparently they control our heads. You know what I mean? So basically, moral of the story is, cats are spies. You know, your cat right now. If you have a cat and the cat's looking at you, cat's spying on your ass. All right, and it's probably sending back to the aliens. They know. They fucking know. So you know what? I'm going to back out of this because, frankly, I'm scared of aliens abducting me right now. I actually welcome it. Let's go to a different website that isn't so much of a shot in the dark. You know, sometimes I understand the whole logic of, you know, just sitting back, enjoying life, and, you know, I don't promote the advocacy of using drugs and stuff, but, you know, sometimes I understand those people that just want to roll up a joint and just, you know, fucking blaze their way out to a whole nother dimension. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I have LEGO presents How to Roll a Joint. Ladies and gentlemen, I fucking wish I could make half of this shit up, but you know what? LEGO is now presenting How to Make Joints. Alright? I feel like after some of the websites we've seen today, I might need to roll up a joint. We at LEGO know that life is not all about play. This is not a fucking LEGO site, by the way. Sometimes you need to do some serious relaxing. Whenever we are beat from a hard day of making new toys for young boys and girls to play with, we relax in the best way known to man. We smoke a big fat joint and watch a movie. Not only have we spent thousands of hours perfecting our grow process, but one of our fungineers came up with his own rolling process. We would like to share this process with you today and forever. I love how, like, the picture is just fucking great. It's like a Lego with, like, this giant fucking tote going down. It's great. But here you got the fungineer right there. We'll call him Fungineer Johnny. No, Fungineer Bobby, sorry. Bobby is going to be your guide today. By the time you are finished here, you are going to know how to roll a joint fit for a king. Look at this shit. He's carrying around OCB Sleuth. They got like a fucking cigarette up there. It's like, this dude's carrying a bushel of weed. Like, it's so beautiful. Gather your materials. You're going to need a cigarette, rolling papers, and a nice bud. So here we got some bud. The importance of high quality bud cannot be ignored. Make sure your bud looks like this or better before you continue. Not better as in B-E-T-T-R, B-E-T-E-R. That's what you want. So hold on. They actually got like full photos for it. This dude, you know, he's just walking around. He's got like the whole bushel of weed. This thing is there. I love how, like, you know what the best part is? It's not even like it's showing individual things. This dude's actually got like legit, like they're just like tearing it up. It's so like well done. It's like they're in real life. I'd like to see a video of just Lego characters rolling up joints. Grab your paper and tear open a cigarette. Okay. Now, lay out the paper and spread the tobacco on it. Roll yourself a plug for end of your joint. Okay. Now, break up the bud and spread it over the tobacco. Make sure to remove any stems or seeds. Yeah, that is pretty important. Break up the bud and spread it out over the tobacco, blah, blah, blah. So they're like, now they're rolling it up, all right? So it's like, you know, the Lego characters are small. They gotta fucking roll it up properly, you know what I mean? They can't be dumb about this shit. So now they're rolling up a joint. Start rolling. You want the joint to be firm, but not too tight. Getting close, simply... What the fuck is this? Getting close, simply finish the rolling, slick and stick. They got this dude lighting up the fucking joint. This guy's holding it up for support, and this dude's like, He's got like his whole fucking mouth into it. It's like the best thing ever. Light that bad boy up. You might need a friend to help. Congrats. You should, in theory, now be high. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is the best fucking part of the entire episode. I don't care what the video... I don't care anything. This is what the fucking video is made of, ladies and gentlemen. My Lego characters getting stoned out their fucking ass is what's going on. And you know what? For half of the stuff we've seen today, I wouldn't be surprised if someone's rolling up a fat fucking joint right now. You know, maybe some people have actually done it before we recorded. That's actually a thing. But ladies and gentlemen, if you ever wanted to know how to roll a joint... By the way, we don't promote the usage of drugs at all. Of course we don't. That would be wrong. Lego, however, the fake Lego site, teaches you exactly, step by step, the process of rolling your own rolling your own cig-a-weed or whatever the hell kids these days want to call it. Let's go to something else. The meaning of 666. Oh man, you know, I think this might be a satanic episode, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the second time I've seen Circuit Riding Preacher on Freenet, at least. I feel like the Circuit Riding Preacher is basically the standard religious association on the site over here, but basically it's going to tell us the meaning of 666, ladies and gents. So, you know, I don't want this to turn to a religious battleground in the comment section below. Again, we're just reading this because it's a giggly material. By no means do I mean any offense to anybody for any sort of sake, but let's just have some fun and read the meaning of 666. It's one of the most frequently quoted and least understood verses in the New Testament. John of Patmos is trying to explain how Christians would recognize the Antichrist when he came, but John had to be very careful. He was in exile and under Roman guard for preaching the gospel. Alright, we know this fucking story. Here's the wisdom. Alright, so here it is. Here's the meaning of 666, ladies and gentlemen. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Alright. Bible scholars have tried for centuries to decipher the meaning of that verse. Some have used numerology, equating numbers with letters, events, or character traits to derive names. It's like that Et Namu site, well, the human or backwards. One famous example of this gives Caesar Nero, who did persecute early Christians terribly. Others hold that 666 is simply a number of imperfection, referring to humanity as compared to the 777, which commonly represents the Holy Trinity. Yeah, so, like, if you ever watched, yeah, you know, that's so weird with, like, numerology. If you ever, like, watched movies like End of Days, which is a terrible example. It's like an old Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. It's like, it was like a horror movie, I guess you could say, right? It's like, I think it's on Netflix, you can watch it. But basically in that movie, they were like, if you took 666, turned it upside down, got 999, is in the year 1999, the year of the devil's return. That was the fucking movie. A lot of movies do that. A lot of things do. Like, I swear I'll never find, like, a definitive answer. Not that I'm really out there to seek for it. I don't know what channeled me to even reference that fucking movie so blatantly well. I've only ever watched it once. God damn, it's so bad. Anyways, so the verse is a hyperlink, the very first hyperlink ever created. Wait, what? Whoa, what did I jump into? What the fuck? The verse is a hyperlink. A hyperlink, I can tap the verse on the Bible and, like, get to some, what? The very first hyperlink ever created. Alright, we're making history over here, strides. It refers the reader to 2 books of the Old Testament, something John's readers would surely have understood. One must realize that John's readers were nearly all converted Jews. These people had grown up on the scriptures we call the Old Testament. The true meaning of 666 lies not in the number itself, but in the wording 666. John's readers knew this phrase was used exactly twice in the Old Testament, Kings 10:14 and 2 Chronicles 9:13. Both these verses relate to the same thing, the fact that King Solomon received 666 talents of gold in 1 year. That's a lot of gold. Both verses seemed out of place, adding nothing to the narrative they are found in. In both times, the verse concluded the story of the Queen of Sheba's visit to King Solomon, a visit in which Solomon gave her everything she desired. He also gave her an unexpected gift, a son who was born after the queen returned to the land. So what does that have to do with the Antichrist? Well, when the Antichrist arrives, he must convince the Jews that he is their long-awaited Messiah. In order to have any chance that he must fulfill several prophecies found in the Old Testament. One very important prophecy is that he must be of the house of David, meaning that he must be an actual descendant of King David, who can possibly claim that after 3,000 years, repeated destruction of the temple and the Babylonian captivity, and 2 world wars, where are the records? Surely every possible record must have been destroyed. Well, no. There is one family living today that can make such a claim. The descendants of Menelik I, the son born to the Queen of Sheba. Menelik found an unbroken line of Ethiopian monarchs called the Solomonic Dynasty that lasted from Solomon's time to 1974. Wow, that's a fucking long-running recorded line. So they found Haile Selassie was deposed. There were today many living members of that royal family who can claim direct descent from David through David's son Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, who was probably Queen Pamgaea, Empress of Axum. Remember Axum? It's important. So the meaning of 1318 seems clear. The Antichrist will come from a royal family of the Solomonic Dynasty. More than that, there will be a descendant of the Queen, who probably ruled Axum. Axum was named by Mani, 216 to 276, as one of the four great powers of his time along with Persia, Rome, and China. Its ancient capital, also called Axum, is in northern Ethiopia. It is the alleged resting place of the Ark of the Covenant, which is kept in the Chapel of the Tablet, adjacent to St. Mary of Zion Church in Axum. The tradition of it being in Ethiopia dates from the 6th century BC, which just happens to be the same time the Old Testament stops mentioning the Ark. It was almost certainly not in the temple when I'm not even going to try pronouncing that, sacked in 587 BC. Alright, there is today in Jerusalem a group of devout Jews who expect the Ark to be found. They believe the Messiah will arrive when the Ark is returned. They plan to rebuild the temple when he comes, and if the Antichrist is able to obtain whatever their church in Axum has, and that object is either the Ark or something that resembles it enough to convince the Jews, that plus his Davidic pedigree will be sufficient to ensure his acceptance as a Messiah. And he will be accepted as foretold in prophecy, not only Revelation, but in the Old Testament as well. So apparently if you're Jewish and you don't believe Jesus is your Messiah, don't believe this lad either. Study your prophets. Alright, so basically, what this lad is, so basically these people came up with their own, meaning of 666, and apparently, this is the weird thing that I always get, it's fucking, I really hope it's not in my lifetime that any of this stuff takes place, you know what I mean? Because it just seems like it's leading up to a whole thing, but the thing I like about reading this is, it's also one of those conspiracies. You ever watch, a TV show or something like that, and it's you ever get into it, for example, Assassin's Creed, the earlier games, when you left, the past, right, and you, came to the future, you would, slowly uncover these conspiracies, right? That was what I really like. This kind of stuff, I really get down with. I do enjoy, reading all these conspiracy theories and shit. It really does mean a whole fucking lot to me to, really... it really gets to me, just not because I might necessarily believe it or something, but it's just to see a side of the world that's so hidden and stuff or misunderstood, and it's slowly revealing itself. It's kind of like watching the ending of Saw again, you know what I mean? If you ever watch the movie Saw, which a lot of people shit on, right, because it's a weird shitty movie, not really, not the first one. There's it's you go through the movie and you understand what happens in the past because it's so shot out of sequence, and then it all melds in. That's the feeling I get when I read some of these, and I love that feeling beyond belief. So, without turning this more into a religious war battle zone, we're going to back out and go somewhere else. So that was Deep Web Browsing episode number 84, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this week's Deep Web Browsing series. We've seen lots of weird sort of sites, conspiracy sites, some religious sites, and even a site that was all about the lovely world of erotic fan fiction involving mermaids and gay alien sex. I wish I didn't make half of that stuff up. Honestly, I wish, I could, look away. We've even seen how LEGO characters roll up a fat blunt to get away from their stressful lives. Those fungineers need their own fun, you know what I would say? So I guess all in all, it's a fairly decent Sunday, you know what I mean? It's been very eccentric. Hopefully next week we can go, a little bit back to normality, or as normal as the Deep Web series necessarily is. Not that I didn't mind it, mind you. I thought it was pretty funny to read some of the stuff. But if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. This is me, Mutahar, and this is Deep Web Browsing 84. Have an amazing Sunday. I am out.